Okay, game number 5. ChoyafOu was able to defeat Mecha Prime, and he's now playing against SlayerSMin. I actually can't read that. Maybe some of you guys can, but the sheet tells us that's SlayerSMin. It's Zerg versus Protoss, which I like quite a lot. It's Tal'Daram once again. At the top right, we have ChoyafOu starting as the Protoss player, and he's placing his pylon at 9 supply. Now immediately starts to scout. In the meantime, we have the Zerg player at the bottom left, and I am quite curious what SlayerSMin is going to do. He's going to get a very, very early gas in order to get his oversupply. He's going for 11 of 10 supply, so the extracted trick for SlayerSMin. And usually Zerg players don't get a 15 hatch against Protoss. On a map that big, you can do an opening with a hatch first, but it's always a little bit risky. You really have to be aware of what's happening on the map. You have to scout very, very well in order to be able to fend off and push with cannons, for example. But SlayerSMin is playing it safe. He's going for the pool. He's going for the 14 pool, and he's not getting a hatchery first. And we have a forge first for his opponent. So if the Zerg player is actually scouting what's happening, he could put a lot of early pressure on the Protoss player, because Protoss tends to play a little bit greedy on that map. With the Forge first for ChoyafOu, we can expect fast expansion for the Protoss player as well. He will try to wall off that ramp. And the thing is that with the Forge in place, it's quite easy to go for a run-by. It's quite easy to go for a run-by play, and as soon as you have a lot of Zerglings into the main base of your opponent, you're basically fine. And as you can see, he's spending another 150 minerals on one of the photon cannons. He's probably saving up his minerals right now, placing down this Nexus, and he won't be able to actually wall off perfectly. So what SlayerSMin could do is just get some Zerglings and just walk at this corner. He will lose one Zergling, one of them will be hit as well, but he will be able to sneak into the main base of his opponent to deal a lot of damage, and he might even be able to take that out. So if you actually scout what's happening, you can put a lot of pressure on your opponent on this map, on a Protoss player. And this is why a lot of Protoss players actually recommend using a 10 pool against Protoss, because it usually is able to deal a lot of damage against the Protoss player. As I already mentioned, Protoss players tend to be a little bit greedy on Tal'Daram. We have the expansion for SlayerSMin in place. ChoyafOu was trying to block it with a pylon, and as you can see, still the Zerg player is still scouting, and we have the first gateway for ChoyafOu, and he won't be able to wall off. We have the Nexus for the Protoss player as well, and I think that the Zerg player will be able to sneak in with his Zerglings. The main problem, he doesn't do it. The main problem for him is that he doesn't have enough Zerglings to deal a lot of damage in the back of the base, basically because only 3 of them will be able to sneak through, but he doesn't even attempt to do so, and in my opinion that's a huge mistake, because if he has the Zerglings into the main base of his opponent, he will be able to scout, he will be able to hide the Zerglings over there, just wait a little bit and scout, because his opponent doesn't have any units at all. So this is a small blunder by ChoyafOu. Actually, it's a huge blunder in my opinion, because he could just annoy his opponent a little bit, force him to pay attention to his economy line a lot more closely and get some additional units, and I have no idea why why he didn't use that. He's going for another expansion, which I like. So he's going for a 3rd base. He knows that his opponent is trying to get a 2nd base as well, and tries to stay ahead with 1 base at least. So this is really, really well played. He's using drones as well, a lot of them, and he's already on a 30 against 30 drones against 30 probes, getting more and more eco. And we already have 2 gas for the Protoss player, 3 gas, and the 4th coming up as well. As you can see, the Twilight Council is being built, and of course I mentioned the Archon changes in 1.3.3 already, but it doesn't only affect the Protoss versus Terran, also affects the Protoss versus Zerg, and I think that ChoyafOu might be going for a Dark Templar play and then use Archons, and this is quite strong, especially if he is able to scout the 3rd base of his opponent, and he's moving towards the 3rd base of the Zerg player with 1 of his probes right now. He will be able to assess the situation. Here we go. The probe scouts the expansion. That one Zergling will maybe be able to take it out, but yeah, that won't do him any good at all. Here comes the Dark Shrine. The tech to the lair is already on its way. And this is going to be quite close. He needs the lair tech to be finished in order to get the first Overseer. He doesn't have any detection at all. There's no evolution chamber. He doesn't have any spine crawlers. He doesn't have any units except for those 4 Zerglings. He's on 61 drones against 37 probes. Now comes the Roach Warren. But as you can see, the Dark Shrine is already halfway done. And here's the Scout. And he just doesn't know about the Dark Shrine. Where's the Dark Shrine? In the back of the base. And this is exactly what I mentioned. If he would have just used those Zerglings to sneak into the base of ChoyafOu, he would know what's happening. He would be able to scout the base of his opponent, and he would know what's happening in the main base of the Protoss player, and therefore a big mistake by SlayerSMin in my opinion. He's trying to research Burrow right now. He's placing down Spore Crawlers, and they are just in time as the first 4 Dark Templar are already on their way, and he's producing Roaches now as well as Spine Crawlers. Let's have a look. I don't think he knows about the Dark Shrine. No, he doesn't know about it. So he is just assuming that his opponent is going to do exactly that. And here we go. The Spine Crawler is not up yet, and there are all those Dark Templar, and this will be brutal because the Spine Crawler needs some more time, and if he just takes out that Spore Crawler, it's basically done. One of the DTs is down. Here are the Roaches. The Spine Crawler is ready, and all the Dark Templars just die except one of them. Blink being researched right now, so after trying the Dark Templar attack, failing at doing so, ChoyafOu is now opting for the Blink Stalkers in addition to his +1 attack upgrade. Very, very well played by the Zerg. This was very good timing by him. I think that he made a huge mistake when he didn't slide those Zerglings into the main base of his opponent, but he was well aware of the risks and reacted perfectly. He had the timings down exactly when the Dark Templar were about to arrive at his main base, at his expansion. There were Spore Crawlers in place. He already used the Spine Crawler as well. He lost a few workers, he lost a few drones, as well as 1 queen. As you can see, 12 workers killed. But still, he has a decent amount of units. He has 74 worker supply against 60. So his economy is a lot better than the economy of ChoyafOu right now. And he's going for Roaches, more Roaches, the speed upgrade for the Overlords, the +1 attack upgrade. He's going for Tunneling Claws as well. So right now the Zerg player is in quite a good shape. He's on 137 supply against 90. And let's have another look. There are all those Overlords. We have a lot of Roaches as well. And his creep spread, I actually like it. It's not perfect, but he is using a lot of creep tumors right now, trying to connect his bases and make a decent creep highway. I like it quite a lot. And the third base for the Protoss player is being warped in, as well as 2 cannons in order to defend a little bit against attacks from the left side of the map. So I actually like the play of ChoyafOu so far, but he is, well, the thing is, without early pressure against the Zerg player, the Zerg was able to get 3 bases without a problem at all. He defended very well against the DT play from his opponent, and now he's way ahead. He's already on 3 bases for quite a while. He has a very, very good drone count. He should probably get 6 or 7 more drones, but basically I'm not a huge fan of over-droning, so getting more than 80 drones is a mistake in my opinion. We have the Zerg player on 192 supply already. ChoyafOu is on 113. SlayerSMin is in a perfect position right now and needs to put some pressure on his opponent, which is exactly what he's about to do. He's walking towards the expansion, towards the 3rd base of his opponent. In the same time, we have a Stalker. We have some Stalkers trying to attack the 3rd base, but there's the Spine Crawler in place, and we have the Queen. Not enough energy for a Transfuse, but there are Roaches as well, and here comes the attack, and he's using Burrow. He's using Burrow to get in, to dodge all those force fields, and is just attacking his opponent with the Roaches. I don't think that the Protoss player will be able to hold off that attack. Very, very well played by SlayerSMin, and he's just moving in for the kill, taking out the sentry. All those Roaches will annihilate the photon cannons. He will lose the 3rd base. He's dropping below 100 supply, 180 supply still for the Zerg player, and those Stalkers don't do any damage at all. They're just blinking down there, trying to take out the Spinecrawler. Will be able to do so. One of the Stalkers is dead, but all of those roaches up there will just annihilate the whole army of ChoyafOu. But I like those two Dark Templars. There's no detection for the Zerg player so far, so the DTs will be able to take out most of the roaches. But the Nexus is down, the third base being killed, and as you can see, ChoyafOu is in a lot of trouble right now. In the meantime, there's an Overseer as well, so the DTs aren't a problem anymore. And we have some roaches just trying to attack those Storks in the back. 2 attack upgrades for the Protoss player as well as for the Zerg player. And a little bit of Miss Micro for the Zerg, but he will be able to take out the Stalkers nonetheless. And now SlayerSMin should try to get a 4th base. He certainly can afford it, but he's just moving in for the kill, trying to take out all those Stalkers. And as soon as the Cybernetics core falls, he won't be able to get any additional Stalkers, which will be quite a huge advantage for the Zerg player as well. 152 supply against 67 after defeating Mecha Prime in the last game. ChoyafOu's reign seems to end right now as the Zerg player is just too strong. SlayerSMin will take out the Protoss player. We have Contaminate being used by the Overseer, and here comes the GG, and SlayerSMin is advancing to the next game.